Don't you die on me, damn it!
Hip is dropping!
Intubate, now! Cardiac arrest is in VFib!
What about him?
Please try to relax. There is plenty of time. I need to tell you something. You've been in a coma for quite some time. Yes, I know. You would like to know how long. I'm afraid it's been 9 years.
Centodieci. $110 miliardi di esseri umani nati, hanno camminato su questa terra, hanno sofferto, hanno gioito e sono morti. Polvere. La giovinezza, l'eterna giovinezza,
La fuga dalla morte è il sogno dell'umanità. È un sogno che sta per realizzarsi.
Sounds like science fiction, really. How much respect have we to give you for this? How close do you believe you are to being able to do this?
Look, in the course of science history, impossible quotes just popped out all along the way by so-called experts. And we all know that, for instance, in 1903, the Wright brothers just flew their first plane when every single scientist at the time believed that that was totally impossible. So I don't believe in the word impossible. I've been just working at this project for the past 30 years, and I think that's a huge time. I've just been working through all possible stumbling blocks, and I just made the announcement when I was pretty sure that it can be carried out right now.
Okay.
We have the technology.
We have the technology, so you say, right? So we're going to talk people through how you see this being done. Bring us through the details, Sergio.
Well, this is how we understand the procedure will work. I'm sure you'll correct us if we get any points wrong, but we're just going to look at this graphic here to explain it to people at home. The patient's head and the donor's body are going to be cooled to extend the time their cells can survive without oxygen. The tissue around the neck is then dissected and the major blood vessels linked before the spinal cords are cut. The patient's head would then be moved onto their new body and the two ends of the spinal cord fused together using a chemical called polyethylene glycol as a type of glue. The patient would then be kept in a coma for 3 to 4 weeks to help mesh the body parts together with electrodes fitted to help stimulate the spinal cord to strengthen new nerve connections. The patient would then be kept in a coma for 3 to 4 weeks to help mesh the body parts together with electrodes fitted to help stimulate the spinal cord to strengthen new nerve connections.
V has come to.
You've been in a coma for quite some time. Yes, I know. You would like to know how long. I'm afraid it's been 9 years.
Can't believe this sort of thing still goes on.
It's there. In Europe.
What do you mean?
Eastern Europe. They have equipment that can heal me there.
Where? The same place Liquid went?
Dr. Magnar. He saved my life.
Can't believe this sort of thing still goes on.
Dr. Magnar. He saved my life.
Dr. Madnar. I've heard of him.
A world-renowned cybernetics expert. Strictly underground, though.
We're in luck then.
Please try to relax. There is plenty of time.
なんと20年前ぐらいですね、イギリス人の相撲取り行ったらしいんですね。で彼はですね、名前が、英国をもじって秀の国だったんですね。全く違うし、大変と思いますけどね。
I need to tell you something.
About him.
One doctor claims he could be ready to perform a full body transplant within 2 years. That means surgically removing someone's head and attaching the head to a donor's body. Por ejemplo, someone like the scientist Stephen Hawking, who's lost the use of his body, could potentially get a new one that works. The doctor getting ready to present his findings at a top medical conference this summer. He says he already has a list of patients who want new bodies. He says to do it, doctors would have to put the patient in a coma for up to 4 weeks.
You've been in a coma.
And he says it could take up to a year for patients to be able to move these new bodies. Scientists have tested this sort of procedure on animals for decades without very much success, frankly. Trace Gallagher live in Llama Central this afternoon. How does this new body for the old head thing work?
Well, first off, Shep, the patient is matched with the donor for height and build. Then the head of the patient and the body of the donor are then cooled down to extend the time that their cells can survive without oxygen. The tissue around the necks are dissected and the major blood vessels are linked, kind of using tiny tubes. The biggest problem is fusing the spinal cord. If you come back, I can show you. They describe it as two bundles of spaghetti, your spinal cord, in the same way that hot water makes spaghetti stick together. They use chemicals to make sure the membranes mesh. Now, finally, the muscles and the blood supply are stitched together, and the patient is kept in a coma for 3 to 4 weeks so the spinal cord can then be stimulated. The doctor behind the study thinks we're only a few years away, but as you said, Shep, many are very, very skeptical.
So some huge ethical concerns here, Trace.
Because many cultures believe the human soul is not contained in just the brain, and so there are major ethical concerns with trying to divide up the soul, for lack of a better term. And then there are concerns about eventually using this type of surgery for cosmetic reasons, you know, swap out your body for one that's leaner or more athletic. We spoke earlier to medical ethicist Dr. Art Kaplan, who says this really is a Pandora's box. Listen.
The fact is, heads are not just simply brains in a container. If you rewire that up to a new body, it's going to change your personality, change how you think, change the chemistry of your brain. It's not going to be you anymore.
The doctor behind this study says the first patient should be someone young who is suffering a condition that does not affect the brain but devastates the body. It may be outlandish now, but the whole idea really is pretty fascinating. Shep.
What about heaven?
Please try to relax.
Are you sitting tight? I'm about to give you one hell of a ride. First of all, I will give you all no eyes. We will certainly prove that all the experts know is wrong and show that transplanting a head onto a new body is feasible in man. No less.
V has come to. Everything's alive.
Come on!
Eastern Europe. They have equipment that can heal me there.
Right. Let's get this over with.
For 4 long years, they kept Grey Fox's ravaged body in a drugged stupor. So he could be fitted with a prototype exoskeleton and experimented on like a lab rat.
My body is a machine. I can take it.
This body, I could take these guys with no eyes.
Benvenuti a Heaven, the Head Anastomosis Venture. Il progetto di trapianto totale di testa. Lo scopo? Curare malattie ed estendere nel XXI secolo la vita umana. Il primo passo verso l'immortalità. Nel XXI secolo nascerà una nuova specie, il cyborg. Tutti noi abbiamo visto un fracco di film, chi più chi meno. Abbiamo visto dei cyborg con della pelle sintetica attorno. Oppure abbiamo visto dei cervelli dentro delle macchine. E ridevamo. Science fiction. Fantascienza. Poi venne il 2011 e un miliardario russo, Iskaf, tira fuori un po' di soldi e ci diede la concorrenza. Avatar. Nel 2020 il primo cervello umano verrà trapiantato in una macchina e fra 5 anni nascerà una nuova specie umana.
The patient's head would then be moved onto their new body and the two ends of the spinal cord fused together using a chemical called polyethylene glycol as a type of glue.
What's happening?
I'm losing myself.
Is it over?
Boss, you are going to regret this. That woman...
I know. She knows our location. Either way, one of these days we're gonna have to kill her. But now is not the time.
ボス、取り返しのつかないことになるぞ。あの女は。
そうだ。彼女はこの場所を知った。いずれにしろ、いつかは殺すことになる。だがまだだ。今じゃない。
Boss, going to regret this. That woman.
I know.
You've been in a coma for quite some time.
That woman.
I know.
You are going to regret this. That woman.
I know. She knows our location.
In the end, we must all remember the words of a great revolutionary, Gandhi. First, they ignore you. Then they laugh at you. Then they fight you. Then you win. Thank you for listening.
I almost blew it. I almost told you something that I'm really not allowed to. There's one point that's very, very significant. Very much like 24. He's hopefully a little edgier. He's a little more angry about his history, and the rest you'll have to find out in the game, because there's a secret that is actually very cool.
Words that kill, would you speak into me with your breath so still?
Just call me